Leonardo da Vinci once said, "For once you have tasted flight, you will walk the earth with your eyes turned skywards. For there you have been, and for there you long to return." For many people who have experienced aviation in its fullest form, this statement cannot be more true. Flight is something that has to be experienced firsthand to be realized in its purest form. Wilbur and Orville Wright were the pioneers that made the dream of flight a reality for so many people. With my experience as a flight instructor and a little help with science, it is my goal to inform you on how airplanes fly. Let's start at the beginning with the Wright brothers. On December 17th, 1903, Wilbur and Orville Wright took a dream of flying and made it a reality. Their first flight was approximately 12 seconds and average speeds of 31 miles per hour. Seems pretty slow compared to the speeds that we fly at nowadays. Now, during their flight, the forces that acted upon their aircraft are the same forces that we deal with now whenever we fly as Boeing 737 or a little Cessna 172. Talking about those forces that act upon the airplane, those consist of lift, weight, thrust, and drag. Lift is the upward force that allows an airplane to climb. Weight opposes lift, and it is the downward force that causes an airplane to descend due to gravity. Thrust is the forward force that propels an airplane forward, and it is opposed by what is called drag, which causes the airplane to slow down. Now, it is said that whenever all of these forces are within equilibrium, the plane is to be known in steady, unaccelerated flight. What this means is that the airplane is flying along, maintaining a certain airspeed and maintaining a certain altitude. Now, knowing that, it's easy to tell that if lift were to outweigh weight, the airplane would be climbing. If weight were to outweigh lift, the airplane would be descending. If thrust would be greater than drag, the airplane would be accelerating forward. And if drag were greater than thrust, the airplane would be slowing down. Now that we have an idea of the forces that act upon an airplane, let's look at the mechanical structure of an airplane. Now, airplanes have a unique mechanical design that allow it to fly. And we're going to talk about some of the primary controls that the pilot can input in order to bank an airplane left and right, yaw it left and right, and make it pitch up and down. Let's look at the wings first. Everybody knows that an airplane has wings. On the outboard rear section of the wings sit the ailerons. These are what allow the airplane to bank left and bank right. When a pilot puts an input in that turns the airplane right or turns the airplane left, the ailerons deflect up or down depending on the direction of the turn. Everybody also knows that the airplane probably has a section that probably looks like what most would consider a tail. The horizontal portion of this tail is known as the horizontal stabilizer. The horizontal stabilizer consists of what's known as the elevator. Much like one would think of an elevator in a hotel, an elevator is what allows the airplane to pitch up and climb or pitch down and descend, depending on if the pilot pulls the controls back towards him or pushes them forward. Now, the vertical part of this tail is known as the vertical stabilizer, and on the rear part of the vertical stabilizer sits the rudder. Now, whenever a pilot is flying an airplane, there's more to a turn than just turning an airplane left and turning an airplane right, causing it to bank. This is where the rudders come in. The rudders allow a motion which is called a yaw. When the pilot pushes on a pedal with his left foot or a pedal with his right foot, it causes the nose of the airplane to either yaw to the left or yaw to the right. Whenever a pilot combines the controls of turning the airplane and pushing on a rudder, the forces of the airplane are equal and allow it to be in a nice steady turn. With this being said, we know that the Wright brothers were the pioneers of aviation and allowed aviation to become a reality December 17th, 1903. We also know that the forces that acted upon their airplane are the same forces that we deal with today whenever we fly, being lift, weight, thrust, and drag. Mechanical structures of an airplane are what allow it to fly as far as banking, yawing, and pitching, consisting of the ailerons, rudders, and elevators. Now, as Leonardo da Vinci once said, for once you have tasted flight, you will forever walk the earth with your eyes turned skyward. For there you have been, and for there you long to return. Thanks. Now, for my audience, we got Amanda, mom, stepdad, and the grandparents.